Ukraine cargo arrives at destination. 4.09 billion ringgit for Sarawak's broadband development and Pen Borneo in PUJUT officially opens. Those are the headlines for tonight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Muhammad Yusuf, and this is TVS Nightline. We begin with our top story. Turkish and Ukrainian officials have announced the arrival of the 4 ships carrying Ukrainian goods at their respective destinations. This will be the first Ukrainian export that has successfully been transported in order to restart the country's grain export. Now, the export is being overseen by personnel of a Joint Coordination Center JCC in Istanbul, where the workers are of various nationalities, including Russian, Ukrainian and Turkish, accompanied by representatives from the United Nations.
The JCC has authorized the departure of 5 new vessels through the Black Sea corridor. 4 vessels are headed outbound from Chornomorsk and Odessa, carrying over 161 metric tons of food, while another one is headed inbound. One of the vessels, named Glory, is carrying 66,000 tons of corn for Istanbul, while River Wind, another vessel, is carrying 44,000 of the same commodity, headed toward Iskenderun in Turkey. 2 other vessels, namely Star Helena and Mustafa Nekati, are carrying out 45 tons of food and 6,000 tons of sunflower oil. The former is headed towards China, while Italy will be receiving the cargo from Mustafa Nekati. These exports were made possible after Turkey broke a deal with the UN when the latter had warned the possible outbreaks of famine due to a halt in grain shipments from both Russia and Ukraine. Prior to the conflict, both Ukraine and Russia accounted for nearly a third of the global wheat exports.
To develop Sarawak's broadband further, a total of 4.09 billion ringgit has been allocated to the state under the National Digital Network, or JENDELA. The allocation comes under the 12th Malaysia Plan, and by 2030, the government hopes Sarawakians across the state would have unlimited access to the internet.
Baru-baru ini, satelit ke-8 negara, Miasat 3D, telah dilancarkan bagi meningkatkan kelajuan capaian internet sedia ada, sekaligus merapatkan jurang digital antara penduduk bandar dan luar bandar, termasuklah di kawasan pendalaman.
Ismail also hopes that through allocation and projects that are being implemented, the people will continue to benefit from them.
Inilah antara tanda keprihatinan dan inisiatif kerajaan kepada rakyat negeri ini. Kerajaan berharap selepas ini tiada lagi keluarga Malaysia yang terpaksa berkemah di atas bukit semata-mata untuk mencari liputan capaian internet.
Now, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, together with the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Joharitun Openg, officiates the opening of the PUJUT section of the Pen Borneo Highway under its Work Contract Package 11, or WPC 11. This package connects the Miri International Airport intersection and PUJUT Link interchange.
According to the Prime Minister, this 15.9-kilometer highway is aimed to reduce traffic congestion and save travel time between the Miri Airport and Kuala Baram. The newly completed road is now open to road users after it was handed over to the Public Works Department, JKR, by the contractors on March 31st. Since then, the Pen Borneo Highway has eased thousands of commuters daily with better and smoother traffic flow.
Projek ini memastikan pembangunan sosioekonomi yang lebih baik bagi dimanfaatkan sepenuhnya oleh rakyat di Sarawak ini. Projek ini juga bakal menjadi pemangkin kepada kemajuan Sarawak Corridor of Renewable Energy ataupun SCORE bagi membolehkan Sarawak mencapai taraf negeri maju seperti yang dirancang oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Premier Sarawak.
The project began its construction in November 1st, 2016 and was completed on July 2nd, 2022.
In the same development, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob revealed that there are two mega projects that has yet to be completed in Sarawak, which are the Sarawak-Sabah Link Road Project SSLR and the Trans-Borneo Highway Project LTB. Both projects are in its second phase of its implementation, and both mega projects will resume and will connect Miri, Lembang and Lawas with Sabah through the two road network options, and it is expected to start construction as early as next year with a time period of 5 to 3 years.
Kerajaan Persekutuan telah meluluskan dua lagi projek mega di utara negeri Sarawak di bawah fasa 2, projek Sarawak-Sabah Link Road ataupun SSLR dan projek Lebuh Raya Trans-Borneo LTB. Dan projek ini bakal menghubungkan Miri, Limbang dan Lawas seterusnya ke Sabah.
Ismail Sabri said the project will benefit the local population around Mulu, Long Seridan, Nangga Bedamit, Long Lopeng, Bak Kelalan and Merarap, who often rely on log roads to move from one place to another. Road users from Miri can now travel to Lawas and Lembang via Brunei using the 96 kilometers LTB project road, which will be improved to two-way lanes. And for those who do not want to go through Brunei, road users can utilize the 326-kilometer long SSLR project Phase 2 Alignment Road, which is a continuation of the said project Phase 1 from Simpang Gelugus to Long Lopeng. With a cost of 10.62 billion ringgit, the project will enable the residents of Miri, Lembang and Lawas to enjoy a better, safe and comfortable road network. Now, serving as equal partners under the Malaysia Agreement 1963, Sabah and Sarawak's standing has since been eroded. The Sarawak government has championed its rights enshrined in the agreement are upheld, and according to State Legal Counsel Datuk Seri J.C. Fong, there is a hope at the end of the day that these differences can be resolved for Malaysia to come as a stronger, united and a more progressive country.
So long as the federal government is willing to discuss these issues relating to lapses or failure to comply with certain agreed terms and conditions or safeguards in the Malaysia Agreement, there is genuine hope that at the end of the day, these differences can be resolved and Malaysia will be a stronger, more united, and more progressive country. We must ensure that the basic structure of the Federation as enshrined in the Malaysia Constitution is upheld. And that basic structure involves certain special rights, privileges, autonomous powers in terms of immigration, more legislative powers, greater sources of revenue been assigned to the state of Sarawak, been upheld at all times. So long as these fundamental principles are adhered to, the Federation will emerge stronger, more united, and we will be able to progress as a nation for the benefit of all people, including Sarawakians and Sabahans.
The MA63 was written to ensure a safe and successful decolonizing process, as well as clear and equal terms for the formation of Malaysia between Sarawak, Sabah, Federation of Malaya, and Singapore. However, due to political differences, Singapore separated and became an independent state in August 1965, with Sarawak and Sabah remaining as the two founding partners of Malaysia.
Well, the Malaysia Agreement has been described by the then Prime Minister of the United Kingdom as the birth certificate for Malaysia. It is upon this agreement and the terms agreed upon by all the participating parties, including the representatives from Sarawak and then the state of North Borneo, as it was known that time, to enter into the Federation of Malaysia with all the necessary safeguards to be embedded in the federal constitution so as to protect the interests of Sabah and Sarawak. All those safeguards were then embedded into the federal constitution and through the passing of the Malaysia Act 1963.
Over time, the autonomy granted to these regions has been slowly diluted. The cause of autonomy for Sabah and Sarawak is once again on the national agenda today and gaining momentum. As such, J.C. Fong believed that several objectives have been put in place in the effort for Sarawak to reclaim their lawfully rights under the agreement. On to the next news. About 500 residents of Long Bemang Longhouse will have to live without any electrical supply as flood waters continue to rise 2 to 2.4 feet on Sunday, August 8th. Fire and Rescue Department has cut off electricity to the area to ensure the safety of the residents. Even so, no evacuation was needed as residents are now seeking refuge on the second floor of the Longhouse.
According to the acting chief of the Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department, Zone 6, Sarawak, Senior Fire Superintendent 2, Ahmad Nizam Sapai, the area started to flood since 3 a.m. on Saturday.
Ya, kami telah dimaklumkan oleh pasukan bomba sukarela PPS di Long Bemang bahawa keadaan banjir telah bermula awal pagi semalam dengan trend air menaik dan dianggarkan seramai 530 orang penghuni di rumah panjang di zon Apor kini terjejas akibat banjir yang berlaku akibat hujan lebat beberapa hari kebelakangan ini.
Although the weather was reported to be cloudy on Sunday morning and the rain had stopped, Nizam added electricity supply to the Longhouse had to be temporarily disconnected for safety reasons.
Pihak kami telah dimaklumkan juga bahawa bekalan elektrik di rumah panjang Long Bembang ditutup sementara bagi mengelakkan berlakunya insiden yang tidak diingini dan kita juga mengharapkan keadaan banjir di situ kembali reda secepat mungkin.
The Department of Meteorology reports good weather in all parts of Ulu Baram on Sunday morning. However, rain is forecasted to occur in 1 or 2 places in the north and inner parts of Sarawak in the afternoon and night.
Coming up right after the break, 5.77 billion ringgit allocated to upgrade schools in Sarawak, and Icelanders organizes picnic nearby an erupting volcano. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. This is TVS Nightline. Now, the Aspirasi Keluarga Malaysia Tour, or AKM, recorded over 87,000 visitations by fellow Sarawakians when it made its stop in Kuching, Sarawak. Senior Minister of Works, Datuk Sri Fadila Yusof, said the positive support towards the program reflects how Sarawakians are united in supporting the federal government's initiative to inculcate values of the Keluarga Malaysia through various programs presented at the event.
Sebab itu jelajah aspirasi keluarga Malaysia ini mendapat sambutan begitu baik sekali dalam setiap segi. Sama ada jualan murahnya, pamerannya, business engagementnya dan macam-macam lagi lah. Termasuklah kenduri rakyat.
He said this after attending the Malaysian Family Aspiration Tour People's Celebration at Perpaduan Stadium on Sunday, which a total of 1,500 visitors enjoyed lunch with the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob and the Premier of Sarawak Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg. The AKM tour was based on the concept of togetherness and gratitude by showing the integrity of the country, tying with the educational value in one's family with the Keluarga Malaysia phrase to cut across religion and race. Sarawak AKM tour, which began last Friday, August 5th, involves 28 government agencies with various events and activities held.
A total of 5.77 billion ringgit was announced to develop and upgrade education institutions in Sarawak under the 12th Malaysia Plan. The allocated amount is given to ensure that students of upcoming generations will be able to study in the most conducive and comfortable environment.
Daripada 409 buah projek pembangunan baru dan sambungan, sebanyak 111 buah projek kini siap sepenuhnya. 109 buah projek di peringkat pelaksanaan atau pembinaan dan 189 buah projek berstatus prabina.
At the same time, the Prime Minister also allocated a total of 2.16 billion ringgit to address about 361 dilapidated schools across the state. These schools will either be repaired or to be replaced with a new building altogether.
Sebanyak 203 buah projek telah siap, 68 buah projek di peringkat pembinaan manakala bakinya dalam peringkat prabina.
An unemployed man was sentenced to the death sentence by the High Court of Kelantan after he was found guilty of selling illegal drugs 6 years ago. The verdict was made by Judicial Commissioner Datuk Muhammad Abazafri Muhammad Abbas against Muhammad Hafizul Che Muhammad Zahid, 30 years old, after he failed to plead to his case during his final trial.
Abazafri, in his verdict, said there were contradictions in Hafizul's statement against those submitted by the prosecutor, including those submitted by the accused witnesses. According to the charges, Hafizul was caught in the act selling 89.8 grams of methamphetamine in front of a house in Kampong Pasir, Pekan Hile on 22nd September 2016 at 4:20 p.m. Hence, the accused was charged under Section 39B, subsection 1, under the bracket A of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, where if the accused is found guilty, may be punished with a death sentence.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, the death toll on the Gaza Strip today has increased to 32, as reported by Palestinian Enclave's health ministry. It also said that by Saturday, at least 24 people have been killed and 203 suffered injuries as a result of airstrikes targeting the Gaza Strip under Israel's military operation.
On Friday, Israel Defense Force IDF launched an airstrike operation against the Palestinian movement Islamic Jihad in the Gaza Strip, killing one of its senior officers in a surprise daytime strike on a high-rise building. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, the strike then killed 12 Palestinians, including 4 members of the Islamic Jihad and a child, while wounding at least 84 people. Islamic Jihad has not disclosed any details on how many of its members has been lost. Israel Prime Minister Yair Lapid said that his country will continue this act without hesitation to, quote, ensure the peace for its citizens.
Wrapping up the Nightline, tourists have gathered near the Fagradalsfjall volcano in Iceland, only to watch it spew out lava and liquefied rocks. The eruption of fire and molten liquid are described by tourists as a mesmerizing and incredible dancing fire.
Nature is humbling, super exciting, and it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime chance.
The Fagradalsfjall came to life after a string of earthquakes shaking it awake. The Icelandic volcano erupted further after a recorded 4.6 earthquake, prompting more volcanic action.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's nothing like I've ever seen before. I've never seen a volcano, active volcano. Kind of scary. I'm kind of scared. Like, I hear these noises and I'm like, is it going to erupt even further?
I know.
But yeah, it's really cool.
Now, TVS will be premiering a new telefilm known as Misi, featuring Sarawak's famous singer-actor Anding Indrawani as the main cast and produced by Jalot Jaman. Get the gist of the film tomorrow on Sejahtera Asia, 7:45 a.m. with hosts Jessica John and Wan Alif, only on TVS, Astro Channel 122 and My Freeview. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates, both locally and internationally, just a click away by heading on to our website at www.tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. Once again, I'm Mohammed Yusuf. Take care and good night.